So hopefully y'all will never have to do this, but my differential locking lever came out of the differential, and I could see that this lock pin was broken in half and snapped, and this is the only thing that's holding that lever in. So here's the replacement part number if this in case this ever happens to you. Write that number down. That's a 44 at the end. So we need to pull the lever out, reinstall this new pin, align the differential so that it's, I can't remember, I think it has to be in the lock position, which opens the way for the lever to go back in. Push the lever in while holding these little piston rings on, and then it should work. So it sounds like an absolute pain in the butt, but let me show you how to do it. We're going to learn it together in case it ever happens to you. And how I figured out what was going on was, as I was mowing sideways up the hill, the wheels kept spinning even though I had the locker engaged. And then I happened to reach down there and try and manually lock it, and it pushed in like 3 inches. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I almost lost the lever out in the 2-acre field. I'm gonna have to set up some light for you, but we need to remove that lever right there. And first, let's clean this crap up. If we can unhook some of this stuff so we can see. And let's take the springs off. Let's remember our orientation of our springs. The large one is on the bottom. Look at that, it's all bent. Okay, hitting the differential lock switch to lock position just loosened up this top spring. So maybe we can just gently pull it out with our hands. No, maybe not. It's almost at the end of the hook. Come on, baby. There it is. Got it. Let's remember our orientation for that too. Big hook on the left, small hook on the right. Okay, let's see if we can extract this pin lever doodad. There it is. That's gonna come out. There it is. Right there you can see where the groove is. That's where the clip needs to go. And maybe we might get lucky if we don't jar anything. That lever might still be, oh, you know what, no, it already fell closed. I was gonna say we might be able to push it back in, but I pushed this back in already and it does not activate, so that means that the gate has closed and this was just setting on the outside. So we have to manually put a pry bar in there, and I'll show you how to move the differential into the lock position. We have to rotate the tires so that it falls into the lock position, and then hopefully it stays there long enough for us to do all this reinsertion and it doesn't fall closed. So let me get some light and we'll go through that. Okay, so looking in there, we can see that it's just a piece of metal. Let's see if we can push that out of the way. Oh crap. Okay. We're good. Let's see if I can, okay, there we go. So you can see how it's moving. So now we need to apply pressure, sideways pressure, while rotating the tires until it locks and hopefully stays in that position, because I just got bit by an ant. Because this lever needs to go onto the, oh man, how's it go? Onto the right side of there. And right now when I push it in, it is just hitting the top of that circular disc that's in the middle. So I might have to do this off camera. Oh, there we go, look, you can see. I'm gonna rotate the wheels now and see if I can find the lock. Oh, right there. It goes in. So now let's try and get it to stay. You know what? I need to. Oh, it's staying. Is it staying? Oh, so all I did was put a little bit of tension, and it looks like it's holding. Let's reassemble the little C-clip, and let's reinstall this, and hopefully that works. And let's clean this up too. Like you can see it. There's an O-ring, and then there's the groove for the clip. So let's clean up this O-ring and make sure that everything looks good. Then we'll reinsert. I'm gonna do that off screen. Okay, so I just took the O-ring off and cleaned all the way around it. There was no way to clean it with the O-ring on. So let's reinsert. Maybe we'll put a little bit of oil on this as well, and then let's get our lock. Let me open this lock ring and get that installed. I don't know if I'm supposed to use both or just one. Let's try to use them both. So it looks like one is going to do the trick. I probably bought two because I knew I'd break one. It's usually how it goes. Yeah, there's not going to be enough room for a second. So let me put a little bit of oil on there. Okay, I put gear oil on all the surfaces. And let's try and reinstall. Let's see if it's still, it looks like it's still in a good position. I believe it goes, the orientation is like this with the hook on the right. Now we're going to have to pinch that C-clip just like a piston ring to see if it'll go on. And I really don't know how to do that except trial and error. And there's no way for the camera to see that. You're just going to use your, you know what? Let me clean that surface area first because dirt's falling. Don't let anything get into this compartment. Okay, it seems to have gone in just with pushing pressure while spinning. But that doesn't mean we know it works yet, so let's do a function test on it. Let's really make sure it's seated. Nice and smooth operation. So to test this, it's just as simple as hitting the switch and seeing if both wheels spin at the same time. So I believe that is in the locked position. Is the e-brake on? Oh no, that's not. So that's only one wheel is spinning. Let's rotate it. If I move this pivot pin that way, the right wheel unlocks. Now the other one is spinning because there's no tension on it. But if I, oh, and it's going backwards. Look, I'm doing this one. This wheel is reversing and the other wheel is going forward. So you know it's open. And then if I put pressure on this pin, it doesn't go in, but that's because the wheels have to line to the lock. So I'm holding pressure, boom, right there, it just dropped. And then now let's see if the other wheel spins with me. Boom. Oh, wait. It came out. I'm reapplying pressure. It just dropped. Both wheels are rotating. So I think it just came out because there's no spring holding it in. Yep, look at that. Alright, so let's retest the springs and hopefully that fixes it and that problem won't ever resolve again. And then maybe next we'll take a look at these shifter boots. Let me reattach the springs. If you want to watch the springs, I'll put them on there, yeah. Okay, the short spring was on top with the long to the left and short on the right. And this spring, I don't think it really has an orientation. They both look identical. Wish it wasn't all bent up though. Oh, that's, never mind. Okay, let's test the functions. We're using the lever up on the dash. Okay, so that is open, that is unlocked. Right there, it is now unlocked. And then now it is locked. And back to unlocked. It's functioning perfect. Alright, thank you for watching that. Now if that ever happens to you, you know how to do it and the part number. Actually, I've got a spare in case you can't find one anywhere. Hit me up. Alright, this is the new boot that I bought. Yeah, maybe. It's definitely thinner. So the problem would be getting it over. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to get that on. I'm going to take the axle off to even repair that. It's pretty gross in there. Okay. I don't think we're going to be messing with that boot in this video, because it looks like I'm gonna have to take all these bolts off and pull that assembly off, and then it's gonna allow me to take the drive shaft off. But that boot doesn't look like it's gonna fit, so we're not gonna do all that today. I did see a part number on there. I'll try and research that and see if I can find an aftermarket one for us that we can use. But that's gonna be a full day's fix, and I'm running out of time. So that we have now completed the engine oil filter, engine oil strainer, engine oil change, the rear differential fluid change, the PTO fluid change, so now we can do the transmission fluid change. We're going to take off this cover, and here's our check valve, and then there's a drain somewhere underneath. So let's get to that next.